Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Jalen Hurts, week 3, big come from behind win, locked in, fired up. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of the channel. Not only is it a great, inexpensive way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content. So hop over there, join, become a member. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. Jalen Hurts, the Eagles, rough first half. Right here, though, 4th and short, a little Q run, a little Q midline read escort. Lead escort, however you want to say it. This is some world-class design here. We've got an unbalanced offensive line. I'm sure you noticed. We've got what I'd call 13 personnel. We're reading 8. This thing's got a chance to score. Beautiful job. I love the quarterback design run here. I love the formation effing someone. So what's going on here? We've got 2 tight ends to the bottom. So we've got the unbalanced offensive line, right? We've got an extra offensive lineman over here. Okay. We've got a tight end on the edge. We've got a wing. We are reading 8 ball right here. The problem is now he is in the B gap. Okay, they usually, when you overload or unbalance a line, most decent defensive lines will reset and make the guard the center. So they'll set the front that way. All that means is that the guy who's used to being the C gap read in space out here is now a little bit tighter. And it's what's traditionally referred to as midline. Now, you bring the same type of escort. So come across. This guy can't be right. If he's underneath this, we're going to pull it. Okay, not give it to the quarter, not give it to the back. We're going to pull it and be out on the edge. And we essentially have 3 lead blockers. So arc, and the escort. So it's a world-class design, excellent play calling. Love me some quarterback run game. Love the unbalanced. You can see 8's in a blender, and that thing is easy. Barely get touched. In fact, don't get touched till we're out of bounds. So again, watch 8. So you can see here the defensive line. They're resetting the front, right? You got to move over. Unbalanced. Now here's 8. That's who we're reading. He's in the B gap now. A little closer. See ya. And again, now we'll watch the tight ends down here to the bottom left. I wouldn't even say they block it correctly. We get knocked down. We get knocked back. Jalen doesn't even get touched. Love it. Next one here, tush push, touchdown. A few things here. I think you have to talk about the tush push. You're going to talk about the Eagles right now. I will say I think it's going to be officiated hopefully better immediately. Obviously, these are false starts. I think it's pretty cool that the Eagles have turned this thing into such a thing. I will say that. I will also say that subjectively, in my opinion, it's going to be banned. And I think the way that it gets banned, or the way that it gets framed for why it's banned, is a safety issue. Okay, in my opinion, and what I know about back in the day American football, like old school college football before there were pro football, the quote unquote like Teddy Roosevelt kind of saving ball type thing was player safety driven. And it was a lot of what I think this is, which is essentially just line them up and run full speed and spear. You know, it looks, I will say from a safety standpoint, if we're going to talk about all this player safety, we're making all these strides. This doesn't look like player safety to me. And that's just to me. I understand we're not wearing leather helmets anymore. But if we're going to talk out the side of our mouth about all this player safety, all the games getting safer, I think this is a pretty clean example of the game not being safer. I can't imagine these guys up front like this play. I can't imagine it's good for them. It's my soapbox. I don't give a shit if you don't like it. Okay? It's just my opinion of what's going to happen. It's not going to be around for long. Enjoy it now if you're an Eagles fan. When it gets banned and they frame it as a player safety thing and you come back to this, you can say, you are right, my bad. Okay? On to the rest of the video. Okay? It's still impossible to stop. It's wild. Next one here. This is a rough one. I'm going to call this a drift down here to the bottom. It could be an in route to A.J. Brown. You just can't make this play. You can't make this throw versus quarters. So again, we're going to talk when we get to the wide about kind of who's who in the zoo as far as what the read is here. But this type of throw to 37, the safety down here to the bottom, I know you take your eyes off of it because it's play action and you could say, oh, he's got to catch it. To me here, anytime you catch what I would consider a quarters-ish shell, so this being the shell of the defense, and really these two safety players, and we have any iteration of play action, okay, so big play action, we're going to take a shot, and we have a big post, that is almost universally the alert, the look that you want. So if this guy inserts into the run, this is live, this is one. Okay, to me here, down here at the bottom, this is much more of what looks like a drift post and maybe even an in, both of which to me are not great versus quarter safeties. Okay, now the other thing I'll add and say, well, should he throw the post up top? Probably not. I don't love the fact that we're in a condensed formation here. So what I mean by that is that condensed formation here is when we're at the bottom down here, because we're running another in-breaker on whatever this is supposed to be, technically, even though I would say the post is there, they're going to be able to fall into this thing because of a condensed split. If he's out wide here, and now we run this in as the number 2, well, then this corner has a much harder time getting all the way back to be able to maybe make a play on that post. Okay, so that's a lot of me talking to say this looks like a really bad decision, and we're fortunate. So first, let's watch the safety up top. Could we throw the post? Probably. If he just runs right up the hash. But again, you can see the invert down here, right? You can see the corner falling into that post potentially. And the other thing, and again, this is just obviously my opinion, okay, of the film. This unit is not great in the check down world. So what I mean by that is saying, okay, it's easy to say, don't throw this, don't throw this. All right, YouTuber, where are all the answers? Well, the answers for most teams would be play fake, check down, check, flat. Other guy, check, flat. That would be how most NFL teams and really most well-coached high school, high-level college teams are going to have checkdowns. There's no check down, bro. What are we doing? Like that looks like JV protection. It's hard to play quarterback like that, y'all. There just aren't a lot of plays in the NFL where you don't have a check down. So yeah, we can get all sensy and say this is a terrible decision. It's not a good decision. It's not a good design with the double condensed in breakers. But what are we doing pass pro wise?
I don't know why
the two tight ends over here to the left.
With the effing.
Looks like Tweedledee and Tweedledum blocking air. Get the fuck out on a check down. Damn, earmuffs, sorry. Just getting fired up. Rough one here. Next one here, the pass pro woes continue. This time on Saquon. Now, this is not an easy one to sort out, okay? Because we're trying to essentially, again, earmuffs me here, trick fuck them with this kind of quick snap. You can see the offensive line theatrics. They're not getting set. Quick snap it. Okay, what that does, besides for getting our quarterback absolutely blasted here, is you can see the center pointing to the right. Okay, so they're almost guaranteed to be sliding this way. Okay, so these three have the three most dangerous. That most likely is these three. Okay, in most 6-person pass protections, that would put the back on 1, okay, 10, right? We want the big guys to block the big guys, right? So we'd be these two for these two. We would have the back on 1 to scan, okay? That could mean 2 is over here. That could mean 2 is over here. And for our purposes, 2 is over here. In fact, 2 literally is 2. So essentially, we're trying to trick fuck them with a little quick snap. I'm all for that. Fine, whatever. I think you can make the argument that the right guard is moving, but whatever. What he has to do, and this is just not his strength. It's the reality of what the film shows. He has to have the capacity to go 1, no, 2, I need to scan. I can't be default, oh shit, I have to help this guy because he's a backup. It's just all these little things come together. So we're trying to get a little cute. We got a backup in at right tackle. Okay, he's got to see 10. You can see he looks at 10. 10 bails out of there. Now he has to get to 2. He's looking to help. He goes immediately from 10 to help. 10, Oh, God. Dunk. Jesus. That's a big hit on the quarterback, man. That's you trying to be cute in the pass pro world. Again, watch the offensive line, the theatrics. I love a good quick snap. Don't let them get set. Okay, the Rams are blitzing from the heavens. This is going to be a big hit. We've got the in up top. It's going to be there. But we can't get our quarterback hit like that. Good God. And again, you can see the theatrics at the line of scrimmage. I understand it's a lot. Right? This is the NFL. It's one of the best players in the NFL. We can get better at pass pro. Next one here, another rough one. We're going to work a little scissors up top on the short motion. Okay, now we can talk about the decision here to throw this, not seeing the flat defender get depth, this being a turnover-worthy-ish throw for me. And we can talk about the depth of the route. We can talk about the read. But it's very rare to see pass pro like this in the league. You just don't see full slide pass pro and have the running back, the backup running back, blocking NFL edges. You just don't. And again, earmuffs me here. I know we have a fucking backup in. I know we want to slide to the right. But why we would full slide this, I do not understand. Again, you just don't see full slide outside of high school very often. And even in high school, there are people who don't love to do it. So again, to me, this is a defensive NFL edge. Okay. These guys get paid to block edges. You almost never see full slide like this and then have the backup back block one-on-one here. Again, we're lucky that this guy, like, he's confused too. He's like, oh, shit, I'll just run through his face. And we can't block the stunt on the full slide either. Okay, so the pass pro is it's just a bizarro choice. And again, it looks like the left guard's making the choice to go full slide. You just you just don't see this. So again, we're getting our quarterback hit. That's a rough turnover-worthy-ish throw. Okay, I'll go back to the wide to look at the concept. So concept-wise here, when we do the short motion, we're going to run what I'm used to calling scissors down here to the bottom. Normally, if this is, we'll call this the big post. This is the traditional sail or corner. Okay, again, I don't know what their depths are, and it's almost always paired with something in the flat. And usually you're just burst quarters or zero. You might take a peek at the post. Otherwise, you're just trying to high-low this thing. You'd love to get the corner. If not, if the flat defender gets depth, then you just raise up, throw the one underneath. You know, if he's trying to tweener you, okay, you just can't throw this thing up for grabs. And again, I'm making the assumption that the receiver is coming out at the right depth on this corner or sail. But again, he's going to make that throw right there. Okay, this to me is the flat defender. Okay, his hips are obviously running this way. You just can't make that throw. Again, post, no. Here comes that sail or corner. You know, again, with that look of this running this way, to me, the ball has to be here or in the Gatorade. And again, I'm not blind. Okay, I see the pass pro issues. Thank you. But man, that's tough offense. Oh my goodness. And to wrap up this nightmare of a first half here, we're going to get a strip sack. Okay, right tackle, just overwhelmed. Now, the bummer here, obviously, you know, captain, you'd love to hold on to the ball. Okay, obviously easier said than done. The thing for me here, and again, I understand. Okay, again, I've said it, I feel like a number of times in this video. We've got a backup in at right tackle. Okay, there's backup ins all across the league. When you are sliding towards the backup, okay, when you're sliding to one way to help someone, so the offensive line is sliding to the right, if you're the tackle, you really want to overset that thing. So just concept-wise here, this is double post at the bottom with a cross and a shallow. There's really nothing there. You know, I don't know where the ball is going to go there. That being said, this is turned into an O-line school video here in the first half. But if we are sliding to the right, okay, so you can see the center. You can see it's a 4-person slide. Okay, so in reality, we're going, these 4 are sliding to the right. If you are this right tackle and they're sliding towards you, you obviously have these depth and width landmarks you're trying to get, whatever your technique is. What you want to understand as you have the slide coming to you is that you absolutely want to kind of overset this thing. So your help is inside. You can't just get bulled and then run around like this. And so it's one of those things where you never want to get beat inside, but your help is inside. So again, he just gets straightened up. Boom. Again, his help is inside. And then he's just too soft at the contact point, gets tossed to the side. I mean, that is tough. But again, even if it was blocked, I'm not sure there's a great spot to go with the ball here. Boom. Jesus. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notification. I really do appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me, so thank you for taking the time and doing that. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, you know about it. Join, become a member, get even more Quarterback School content. We also have Quarterback School courses. You can check out all the courses over at thecubschool.com. Hop over there and enroll. Finally, please make sure to follow me across all the social media channels. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get back to it. All right, into the second half here. My goodness, what a nightmare that first half was. Right away, third quarter, sluggo up top, second and long, buddy ball. You don't see a lot of sluggos off 5-step gun footwork, but this times out perfectly. Again, Jalen Hurts, great deep ball, great touch, hell of a catch. Obviously, A.J. Brown is a legitimate monster out there. Just bigger, stronger, faster, muscle up, make a bunch of plays here in the second half. Big time. Your boy Stetson Bennett loves it over there. Hair and all. Again, I love the idea of being able to take a shot. Just design-wise here, little things, okay? This is a way to kind of ISO up A.J. Brown. So if we're going to run this little stutter, a double move, I love the slot, okay, running what's essentially a clear or a hold. Middle field closed, okay, this inside slot will hold that safety. He won't just be able to buzz out over the top, okay, in any sort of middle field close. He's responsible for helping on that vertical of number 2. So that safety holds. He can't get over there. You got to get the ball up and down, and that's a beautiful catch, touch, everything. Okay, I see it, Bennett over there. Did we get a little jump? You thought you were going to get hit? Don't be scared, bro. Ooh. Again, 5-step gun footwork, unique. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. And again, we got people all over the place. We got people around our feet. This is a big time throw coming out hot. Love it. Next one here, I think maybe even the very next play, we're going to hit Goddard up top on the seam touchdown. This is a non-traditional Tampa look, and the Mike just decides not to get any depth. So looking at the linebacker 48 on the inside left of the hash, he's going to match to the number 3. He turns and opens that way. You know you got the seam back the other way. Doesn't get enough depth. That's a beautiful throw, and now we are rolling. Okay, let the comeback begin. So again, presentation-wise, who knows what the hell coverage this is going to be, right? This could be any form of closed, open, quarter, half, whatever. They're going to end up doing what I'm used to calling non-traditional Tampa. So he's going to be the half-field player. He's going to be the half-field player. He's coming down to be the hook, and he's getting out to the flat. Okay, so here's that Mike deep post player. He's going to almost always match to the number 3, right? Count these eligibles inside out. 1, 2, 3. Find the 3. He's almost always going to open to the 3. So he's going to open this way as he gets depth. So that's going to really liven up this side of the field. You got a great opportunity for the seam to that hole shot. Okay, if the safety for some reason sits over the seam, you've got a great opportunity for the hole shot. Okay. But again, we're just going to take a peek at this Mike once we recognize what the coverage is. There's the non-traditional Tampa at the bottom. The Mike opens to number 3. He doesn't get any depth. And that's just too easy. Now it looks like a practice rep. It's a great job from Jalen Hurts. It's a nice job from the Eagles being crazy aggressive, coming out, getting back into this thing. We got to throw it. Much better pass pro. Beautiful dot of a throw, and that is, we are rolling. Next one here. Again, this is not the end of the world. Ends up being a throwaway. I personally think this is a missed opportunity for Jalen to potentially get to the backside in here. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not. Okay, again, very aware what's happening at right tackle. Not only is it, we're struggling a little bit. We're also a little light in the ass. We just keep getting pushed right into Jalen's lap. So the Rams are going to keep heating us up. Pressure is an issue. Okay, right tackle in our lap. But I just feel like Jalen gets hung on that front side. And again, it's much easier. I understand days later with a marker and a clicker, okay, to say, hey, get through a read. But I just continue to look and want Jalen to get better at these little things where something's down here, deep to the corner. It's essentially a clear and what is probably a backside in or dagger. To me here, whatever this is to the front side, it's not there. Okay, it looks muddy to me. So no, back to this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And again, I'm not saying it's easy. I get it. This guy is literally getting pushed back into our lap. But I'd love to see him kind of, instead of getting hung on this, to maybe move his feet, get back to the backside. You just see guys, the guys who are the consistent pocket passers have the ability to get to the backside. No, backside. We're just hung on that front. And again, I understand there's a moving mountain coming right into your lap. But if we could move our feet, get back to the backside end. Looking for just little windows of continued growth for this offense, specifically for Hurts. That's one of those things as you continue to get comfortable. And again, it's a hell of a lot easier to do it in 7-on-7 than it is out there when you've got people flying around. You've already had major pass pro issues in the first half. We're just hung up on that front side. Next one here, 3rd and long. We're going to end up getting it to Smith as he comes across and becomes the new number 3 down here to the condensed 3-by-1 bunch. We're going to run mesh with the dagger over the top and kind of a swirl release down here to the bottom. That's a lot of words to say. The pass protection is outstanding. Great trust and patience from Jalen Hurts here, because this route takes forever. So they end up presenting pressure here. They end up dropping out of there, playing coverage. I think they only bring 3 or rush 3. Hurts is able to hang in there. No, look at that pass protection, outstanding. The late add-on, it's a beautiful job. So again, we're going to catch mesh. It's 3rd and long. There's not a whole lot of great plays for 3rd and long in the league. So we're going to catch mesh underneath. As Smith comes across here, he's going to get jacked by the flat defender. So right there. And again, this release is going to catch the end. Okay, so he gets jacked, comes up. You got all this space. Here's that quote-unquote mesh from the underneath guys. Here's a glorified clear from the number 2. And it's going to create this big window for us. But again, this is going to take forever. Excellent pass protection this time. Great patience. This is what you love to see from an offense. 3rd and forever, sort it out, trust, drive the ball down the field, play within the numbers, play within the hash. That is outstanding. So again, it's one of those things where just because it's not going great, and it certainly didn't go great in the first half, man, the toughness, the ability for Hurts to kind of find a way to overcome some pass pro issues, hang in there and give his team a chance. You just love to see it. It's outstanding ball. Hell yeah. Next one here. This is a little fake screen down here to the number 2. We're going to end up throwing this kind of like bluff slant. Okay, now this is a danger ball. I have some issues with the design, but this is one of those throws you just don't want to see on anybody's film, where you're putting your guy in harm's way. It's a big time collision. You could easily get hurt. I don't care if there's a flag or not. As a play here, so what's going on is we're faking this kind of quicker now screen here, and we're going to come out here and run what I'm used to calling a bluff slant. And then it's paired here with kind of like a bluff go. There's a lot of different ways to do this. I would say the most common way to do this is post bluff wheel. And the reason that you do that is because most of the time, if you're not going to have something on the backside, so if this guy's not going to come out here and run a corner to hold this backside safety, everything about this play, so you're pumping over here, so we're pumping here. Well, do you think this guy's going to go cover the Gatorade? We're not releasing this guy. So you're pumping this way, he's moving this way, he's moving this way, and now all of a sudden, this kind of bluff slant window is a hell of a lot tighter. And so sure, would you say, hey, next time let's just come out here and play buddy ball and throw another double move to the monster on the edge? Probably. Again, just not a great decision. There were throws like this in this game where that's a muddy, bad decision. And the design's not helping us. It's just not. So better understanding where the bones are buried here, with not having a backside route, I think would probably help Jalen understand, hey, if that slant's not there in that first window, I can't throw it. And then if it's muddy at all, I know I got my guy 11 out there, give him a chance. He's pretty good at making plays down the field. Next one, this is a 3rd and short. We're going to hit Smith down here on the slot. He's the number 2. Okay, there's a few things going on here. The first one is that I just really like Jalen Hurts here. It looks like he works to the right, doesn't like it, gets back across the field. So you see him kind of going through the read is the first thing. So no to the right, back to the left. Boom. Quick, sudden. Maybe not as quick or sudden as you'd love, but quick enough, good enough for sure. I will also say just, interesting wise here, the Rams, especially in the second half, do a number of pressures or blitzes from what I would say would be like the second level. So normally you'll see pressure like, trying to hint in there. He'll be hiding it, coming over the top, be standing in the A-gap pressure. It's pretty rare to see guys come from, the heavens, the third level, even standing 5 yards back. And so they're doing things that I would consider almost like spy pressures. I don't know if there's a term defensively, but he's engaging the number 2 and then he's pressuring. Now, he could just be saying, 2 middle fingers, I'm doing whatever the hell I want. I doubt it, though. Not for long in the league. This looks like it's designed to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket. Normally, you would think you would do that from the right side of the quarterback, the defensive left. But this is just more than anything else, it's a bizarre way to play defense because not only you'll never get home to a pressure, you void a zone. And that's the zone where we get a first down. So it's just a strange play. It happens a few times. If I had to guess, I would say they're trying to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket with these kind of looks. Right here, Hurts finds a way to make him pay. I'm not sure if that ball gets tipped or just comes out sideways, but that thing's got ears on it. Yo. Next one here, touchdown pass, A.J. Brown up top. Now, it's obviously a penalty or should be a penalty on A.J. Brown here with the bench press. My guy Deontay Lee went full Power Rangers, called the dude Power Ranger, going Power Rangers on with the corner out there. From Jalen Hurts' perspective here, nice little back shoulder. I don't think Brown has to push off there. To me here, we're hot. We got 2 on the back. So we got a free runner right in our face. He navigates it, gives his guy a chance. It's a beautiful ball. I love the fact that Hurts has an answer to pressure. Again, this looks like a group project nightmare here. If I'm playing quarterback and I have to see 8 guys pointing, my back saying, what the hell do I have? It just doesn't look like we're all on the same page, if I'm being totally honest. Okay, the center is going to the left. So that makes, once the center comes this way, the back almost guaranteed to be going 1 to 2. So if 1 blitzes here, we've got to go up here and blunt the A gap. Then if both these guys come, we're going to have a free runner in the widest C plus gap out there. See how it sorts out for Saquon? There it is. You can see the center try to take 2. But we got a free runner to the right. Jalen's got an answer, and that answer is a touchdown. Buddy ball. Let's go. All right, into the 4th here. We've got another pass pro fiasco. We're going to be 0 here eventually. There's nowhere to go with the ball. We've got a free runner up top. It's 4th and medium-ish. We essentially have to just chuck this up and really probably should be an interception. So again, we're not going to sit here and tell you, oh, in this play, this concept, this is this is where the ball goes. I will tell you that in my opinion, for years, this has been a weak spot. I wouldn't necessarily say a blind spot for this offense, but I thought we were making strides earlier in the year about potentially having hot, consistent answers. But if they're going to show what easily could be a 0 look here, and we're in 2-by-2 formation, 2-by-2 open, 2 eligibles to each side, they are showing potentially 0. It's not a premium look at 0 where it's like birds on a fence across. But from a protection standpoint, They've got 7 people at or near the line of scrimmage. We have 6 in the pass protection unit. So they have an opportunity for a +1 somewhere. You want him to be the widest guy. Universal pass pro. Okay, if this is the free runner, you would think one of these 2 routes would be classified hot. It doesn't look like either of them are looking. So again, to me here, it just doesn't look like it has answers. This is not an NFL answer. And really the only guy is Goddard down here to the bottom. And that thing is, you've got other guys from the line of scrimmage falling into that spot or snag. So Jalen looks like he sees it. He looks like he knows it's there. He drifts away. But we got to have better answers than this. Again, they're putting 2 on the back. So Barkley has 2 to the nickel star on the edge. The center's working to our left, his right. And it's easy 2 on the back. It's simple. He just doesn't have an answer. It's just, again, the final throw, sure, Jalen Hurts, but it's 4th down. You got to do something. And again, I'm going to say it, right? If you catch, you be playing offense. But, give us a chance with a hot, protect us up. Next one here, 3rd and long. We got A.J. Brown up top. We'll call it a hinge. First down markers at the 19. We're going to run past it and just big body him. And that's big time. That's just a big time wide receiver. That's a true 1, big dog alpha out there. Just positioning himself with the corner. I'd probably make the argument here that this coverage is tilting towards A.J. Brown, not a traditional kind of closed look from a defensive standpoint, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's one of those things, I think, that when you have a true 1 out there, sometimes the gravity of that player can distort the coverage. So to me here, what's going on is this is just a true hinge route. Open to the inside, throw that thing away. Okay, I will say I absolutely love the footwork here so that when he gets back to the top of his drop, he's lined up to his left. I'm used to calling it a dovetail. You call it whatever the hell you want. Coverage-wise here, if this is supposed to be closed, he starts cheating over there a little bit. It can allow a few things. One, it can distort the coverage to the quarterback. The other, it can allow this guy to do what he does here and kind of squatty on this thing. The other thing it can do just moving forward is you can have some opportunities for some things that traditionally shouldn't be there. First closed versus distorted closed, or when the gravity is going towards a true 1, you get other things pop open at the bottom. But again, this is just great hookup up top, great rhythm. Again, you can see the little, he pats it right there. To me, that's at least lowercase, probably like 10 font anticipation. But it's a great job coming back to the ball. Well, the ball's probably a little inside, and he just goes and strong arms that thing and says, "Give me my damn ball." That's a 1st down. Look at that. It infects the other guys on the team too. You see Saquon Barkley out there fired up to just go big body him out there on the perimeter. And again, look at the drop from Jalen, y'all. Ooh! That is lined up to the left. That is awesome. Big time 3rd down situational football. Get the hell off me. 1st down. Let's go. Next one here, another quarterback run. We're going to run zone read up top to the nub. Again, read an 8 ball. That's an easy pull read. We're arcing the tight end. Again, there are many things that I love about the quarterback run game universally. What they're doing with Jalen today is getting him out on the edge. These are just simple zone reads. We're reading the C-gap defender 8. That's a simple pull read. But not only are we running the quarterback, we're not getting him hit, right? He's running out of bounds. We're getting him outside the numbers. Again, I've been all over our guy struggling at right tackle. Right here, he thunders 0. Bam. And again, easy pull, easy edge, 1st down. Let's go. So again, we're reading the right C-gap defender for all you run game gurus out there. So that's 8 ball. Okay. If he can tackle the back, that's what we're trying to go with it. He gets paid to run. If he can tackle the back, we're going to pull it. Okay. As we pull it, the nub tight end, okay, he is arc blocking. So he's got MDM out there on the edge. So you've got kind of like a glorified escort out there. Whoop. mean, that's an easy read. Like the Rams didn't know we could run the quarterback because we hadn't done it yet. Whoop! Out on the edge. Don't get hit. Let's go. Next one here. This is third and medium-ish. We're going to end up hitting the number 2 up top on what I'm used to calling an inverted Hank, just a hook from the number 2. This is a nasty way to get to non-traditional Tampa from a Rams perspective. Again, so many of these post-snap disguises are getting so good in the league. They really are. You really just have almost no idea what you're getting pre-snap and just need to confirm post-snap what the read is. But this is one of those things for me here. We're presenting what I would say looks like some iteration of quarters. We're going to end up getting to what I'm going to call non-traditional Tampa. So this guy is coming down as the hook defender, right? So he's really reading that traditional quarterback eyes right on the hash, that traditional hook curl defender. We're getting the half field player up top, flat player out here. So as we run this quote unquote Hank-ish concept, inverted Hank here, and this Mike theoretically is getting depth here, matching to number 3, you're really just, this hook defender can't be right. Okay, if he wants to get width, come down from the heavens, you just put it on this little sit right here. If he wants to squeeze this thing, you're going to have a nice lane just like he does to rip that hook to the number 2. So watch this movement, watch the shell and how they get to non-traditional Tampa. Presenting quarters, rotation. So normal Tampa down here to the bottom. Tough look up top, but it creates a nice cave there for the number 2 on the hook. And that's a nice first down, man. That's really well done. This is big time situational ball. We've got answers. We see the coverage. The ball's out on time, rhythm. Maybe not the most beautiful spiral in the world. Maybe it gets tipped. Maybe we got our left tackle in our lap. Not a small human. Boom. First down, let's go. Another massive third down conversion. Again, up top, A.J. Brown one-on-one with the hinge. Okay, again, we are hot. A.J. Brown does such a good job coming back to this ball and just bullies us to go get some yak. It's a beautiful job here. Again, I love the rhythm that Hurts is playing with. I get a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I get a little nervous when I see hot routes and we're throwing balls down the field. But again, this is as much about what the Rams are doing as what the Eagles are doing. So to me here, again, this deep hinge down the field, open inside, come back to the ball, just like that. Great job. Excellent route at the top coming back to this ball. Now, from a pressure standpoint, this is technically the free runner. So again, talked about this a number of times, but the back, if the offensive line is sliding to our left, okay, so they're taking these 3, the back universally is going 1 to 2. Now, both of these players blitz. Most NFL offenses would say one of these 2 guys has to be doing something hot. The only reason this thing works, not the only reason, but the main thing this thing works is what I'm used to saying the +5 rule. And again, these aren't universal football rules. These are my rules. If a defender is coming from 5 yards off the ball, okay, that equals 1 hitch. So if they're at the normal, at the line of scrimmage here, like right here, you have no hitches to throw it. Whatever your drop is, 3, no hitch. 5, no hitch. You got to get that ball out. For every 5 yards that they're trying to hide here, you get yourself a hitch. So 5 yards equals 1 hitch, okay, for all you math gurus out there. So as you take your drop, so now all of a sudden you're throwing a normal hinge on time, either 3 hitch or 5 hitch, you have that hitch. You have a hitch to play with because he's never going to get there because of the depth. So you take your normal drop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hitch, ball out. Never gets there, never gets hit. So again, my role, not their role. Again, I get nervous when I don't see hot answers. And again, I want to be really clear here. And I feel like, honestly, this has been going on for probably half a decade. This, when everybody running and nobody looking hot, scares the, okay, earmuffs me here, scares the shit out of me from just a quarterback safety standpoint. I get very, very uncomfortable if we don't have answers versus pressure. No one's looking, okay? It works here. I'm just saying, and I've been saying for a long time, It doesn't look sound to me. But because we're coming from depth here, it doesn't matter. Jalen does a great job hanging in there. Ball's out on time. That's a big-time third down conversion. A.J. Brown is just a beast out there. Next one here, touchdown pass. Devontae Smith down here at the bottom, the number 2. Fourth down. This is a big-time throw. Come from behind, win. It's huge all the way around. Big-time ball. I will say I really like the formation here. Gives a nice indicator to Jalen that it's man-to-man. And then, we just hit him with a Greg Roman special out there. Clear, flat. But again, if we've got our back out here and they have a linebacker type, okay, it's not impossible to play zone. It's very unlikely to catch zone. So now you've got your wide receiver one-on-one in the slot. And again, unless they're bracketing this thing, this is going to be pretty easy to get an outbreaker down here because the linebacker is going to have to cover the fade. He's not used to coming off the number 2. One-on-one, boom. And again, he goes to throw that thing right there. Maybe lowercase, maybe. Regardless, nice velocity, beautiful, accurate throw when it matters most. Fourth down, matchup, design. The ball's out quickly. We're not holding on to it. We're not asking the pass pro to hold on forever. It's out quickly. It's a strike, and that is a hell of a win. So that is a wrap. Eagles, big come from behind win. Lots to love in the second half. A.J. Brown out there just playing bully ball. Jalen Hurts, nothing seems to rattle him. That first half was rough. The pass pro was rough. Many different layers to the pass pro being rough, whether it's answers, whether it's matchups, whether it's schemes, whether it's what we're doing, whether it's some of our best players just making mistakes, all of the above. And so to hang in there, find a way to get it done when it matters most and have things go our way in the second half was pretty damn impressive, if I'm being honest. Now, is it a world I want to live in very often where we're having that many pass pro or that many pass game issues? Hell no. There's lots of stuff to clean up. No reason not to think that it won't get cleaned up with this unit. I continue. And I mean, it literally, I don't think I'm exaggerating. I'm sure someone could go back and see the first time I talked about it, but it feels like borderline half a decade that we've talked about the pass pro issues with this organization, this quarterback, this pass pro unit. And so we've had a bunch of changes up front. I understand not everybody's the same up front, but seemingly not having hot answers to me makes me very, very nervous. Now I'm glad they were able to overcome it. We'll see what it looks like moving forward. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one. A little bonus footage here. I'm going to put the 2 blocked field goals here on just to kind of talk through I'm no special teams guru by any means, but I will say this unit, for most teams, most high levels of football, these are money downs. Every time that field goal unit goes out there, we are talking about points. And so the protection part of this is a big, big thing. Now you're not allowed to quote unquote line up and run through the long snapper anymore. So the guard really takes the brunt of this thing. And when you have 2 huge mountains of humans like the Eagles do, you can see the umpire here move over onto the shade, get totally off the center. But we're essentially attacking the hell out of this cat. And we're essentially taking our right shoulder to his right shoulder, our left shoulder to his left shoulder, and trying to blow his ass back. And again, so much so, I didn't care enough to go back and see if he gets hurt during the game, if this is a starting lineman for the Rams, but he's not in there on the next one. So 69 getting pushed back. That is tough living right there. So guess what they're going to do the next time? They put a new guy in there. 69 not getting it done. Same damn thing. Wild. Big time football play. From behind here again, just attacking the left guard. Now we got 50 in the game. Now we knock back the left tackle and the left guard. That left tackle's in a tough spot being that wide. But it's just that initial knockback. Those 2 dudes are huge. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. What a play. My dude is rolling right there. Holy moly, look at that thing.